Let's see if we can get up. We're good? Yeah, I just waiting for exact 10. I didn't want to start before 10 o'clock. Good morning, everyone. Today is Tuesday, February 24th, 2026. It is now 10 a.m. We're here for the regular session of the Hunt County Commissioners Court meeting. This time I'll call the meeting to order and ask Commissioner Monroe to lead us in prayer, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance to our flags.
Heavenly Father, we thank you today for the blessings of life, Lord. We thank you that you're our calm in the chaos. Lord, we ask today that you just be with our men and women that serve us in the armed forces, Lord, and be with our first responders that serve at the local level, Lord. And Lord, I ask that you just give us wisdom and guidance, Lord, and help us to continue to lead with integrity on this court. Lord, help everything we do be pleasing to you. In your Son's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Thank you, everyone. This morning we have Commissioner Money, Monroe, Smith, and Harrison present. I'm Judge Stovall presiding over the meeting today. Commissioners, you have the minutes from February 10th, 2026 regular session. Entertain a motion for approval.
So move.
Second.
Got a motion and second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. This time we'll have public testimony. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes and should conduct themselves in a civil manner. The Commissioners Court cannot take action on items not listed on the agenda in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act. Concerns will be addressed by county staff. They may be placed on a future agenda or addressed by some other course of response. For the public, we're action item number 6, a specific use permit for Bowles Home RV Park and Precinct Think will be pulled from the agenda today. If you're here and wish to speak to that, you need to speak during this period of time because we won't have a hearing at the other time.
Judge, I also believe item 22 goes with that topic as well.
Item 22. Commercial permit applications.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, commercial permit applications for the RV park on the regular session is being pulled today due to some questions about whether the zoning is correctly reflected on our maps and if we need to go back through the process. So if you wish to speak on either one of those items, you can speak now. Okay. State your, okay.
Yeah, thank you very much, Commissioners Court, for all you do for this esteemed body. My heart is very warm today because the last time I was here, there was no Pledge of Allegiance and no invocation, and to see that happening now just really warms my heart, and I want to thank you for that because Audie Murphy was born here in Hunt County, and many soldiers have died for this country. And in 1852, first churches were organized, and it means a lot to me. I do want to simply thank you for your caution and denial of certain developments that do not meet ordinances that are on your agenda and for executive session, and also do not meet the values of Hunt County. Please keep that in mind, and that's where I will end today. I'm really grateful to see you say the Pledge of Allegiance and invocation. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Carter Kendall.
Good morning. I'm Carter Kendall, and I'm here to speak for and about an executive item that you have on the agenda, specifically the proposed participation agreement in the Royce City proposed TERS for a mixed-use development off I-30 on the very edge of your county. We have the privilege of owning a tract of land in 3 counties right there. So today you will be discussing that in executive session. We're excited about this development. We have a big plan. You have a presentation that you could look at. It's in the inbox of your attorney during executive session. We will stick around for any questions. We're excited about it. I just want to introduce myself as the landowner, Carter Kendall of Five Oaks Capital. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right, I'm going to expand on that just a hair. We'll be talking about it being, for the first time, the court will be listening to it. It has to do with some financial incentives from the county, and we'll be talking about those and seeing what it's all about. So so the public knows what that is. And I've had meetings with them. Daniel's been talking to them, but the court has not heard anything about it yet. So that's what we'll be discussing today. All right, anybody else wish to speak? If not, I'll close the public hearing. What? Oh, I'm sorry. Ms. Davis? Yes. I'm sorry.
My name's Carol Ann Davis, and I'm an independent candidate for Justice of the Peace in Precinct 2. And this would not be the first time I may have been overlooked. It's a struggle to fight as a candidate. Democrats don't even dare to run here, and I am conservative and I have some liberal opinions, but I've decided to work for the community again in running. I ran in 2018. I got 26% of the vote, and that's more than what our esteemed Ross Perot as an independent candidate got, only 19% in 72. And I have a lot to offer. I have some plans and programs. I have 4 decades of experience in one of the largest counties in the United States, actually the largest, over 20,000 square miles, where I've worked with the military, industry, and public citizens in environmental law. I've also dabbled in civil, quasi-criminal law. I've acted in pro se. I've won appellate court victories, but it seems like I've been tried to be sidelined at this time and place, because when I tried to attempt to file my declaration according to the Secretary of State, I went to your office. Actually, I called, and I was denied 3 times on the phone to file my declaration. And I decided the next day, as the Secretary of State lady told me, just go in. If you have a problem, call me. Yep, I go in, and your administrative assistant gets on the phone with the GOP chair. She tries to ring through. She calls the elections administrator. My declaration should be accepted as a candidate, and I know our local paper, the Herald Banner, wants to keep it silent. They repeatedly refuse to acknowledge that I am a candidate, and even in their latest election issue that they just published on the 19th. And but what is really unfortunate is I brought about my candidacy because of an unfortunate incident my former opponent, Kerry Cruz, Justice of the Peace in Precinct 2, did to me in 2005. He labeled me a convicted felon. He labeled me as having beat up police officers. I was trying to get a gun that my brother had given to me. I'm a law-abiding person other than traffic tickets. Yet he alters federal records and says on the record, and puts it in a court order of January 22nd of 2025, that I'm a convicted felon. I can't have the Smith & Wesson, the expensive pistol. He hands it over to the Commerce Police. I won't go into any further details, but it's unfortunate. I knew I was wrong. He forced me into an appeal. So I had to go through additional litigation. Of course, I was right. And but before that ended up in litigation, and I won my gun back by the police, I asked him a second time, thinking he, admit he made a mistake. So on March 13th, he denied my motion to vacate the order. So it's very unfortunate, but your taxpayer-paid attorney firm, Daniel Ray, decided to have his attorney this year just at 2:05 p.m. in December, called me up on the phone and accused me again of being a convicted felon. Now, that's called intimidation. And it's embarrassing that I even have to mention this, but because I'd like to emphasize the positives I have to offer. I was instilled with thinking and writing for the biggest county in the U.S. to think of plans and programs that would help people, like I said, across the board. And I have a lot of good ideas. I need a fair chance. And if you continue to support Carrie Cruz, because this will go in a larger venue, this will go to the federal government, because I will not stop at this. I sat back because I'm a Christian. I was willing to forgive, and I've forgiven. I don't have any bitterness. I have a plan. I have a program. I want to do what Christ teach, bring about justice. I have integrity. I know how to read the law. I know how to be fair, and that's what I want to offer. But at this point, this county should do the right thing. They should investigate these things, and there's more. Because the district attorney, I sent him an email. He ignored me.
Ma'am,
You're
your 3 minutes are
Okay,
up.
sure.
Wrap it up pretty
Thank
quick.
you.
I'll give you a few seconds more, but wrap it up, if you would.
Yeah, I would suggest that y'all look into this before I have to take it to the federal government, to the FBI and the
Thank you.
Department of Justice.
Anybody else wish to speak? If not, I'll close the public hearing, our public testimony. We have no old business. We have under new business, the consent calendar. Entertain a motion to approve.
Hey, Judge, on number 7, can we pull that until after agenda number 5? Can we
Sure.
do the financial report?
Okay? Anybody else wish to pull in one? Okay, so I'd entertain a motion to approve the consent calendar except for item number 7.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Daniel, do we have to discuss that now, or can we wait till number 7? The one we just pulled is kind of tied to number 7 on our agenda, and he wanted to pull it to that? Okay, so that's what we'll do. Yeah. The what now?
Number 6 on consent,
Yes.
the .725 per mile reimbursement,
Uh-huh.
we were looking to go along with Hunt County's, what we
Well, it's posted this way, so I don't think we need to change it, but I'll say to the public, the county has, several years back, changed our policy on payment for mileage for, employees in travel. And we follow what the federal government's law says is the rate that the federal government and other governments pay. So we had gotten way behind and nobody had addressed it in a long time. We've been underpaying everybody for a long time. So instead of us having to remember to come in every year and change whatever it is, we just voted to follow the federal law, federal guidelines. But in the future, Jessica, you can change it and put it the other way, to make it clear. All right, action item B, approval of accounts payable.
Motion to approve payables.
Second.
Got a motion second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Approval of line item transfers.
Motion to approve line item transfers.
Second.
Got a motion and second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Approval of budget amendments.
Motion to approve budget amendments?
Second.
Got a motion second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Approval of payroll and personnel.
Motion to approve payroll and personnel?
Second.
Got a motion second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Action item number 1, the quarterly report for Northeast Texas Children's Museum. Our new director.
Hi.
Hey.
I'm Rachel Bounds. I'm the new executive director at the Northeast Texas Children's Museum. It's so nice to be here today. I don't know if Charlene got to tell you goodbye before she left at her last meeting, but she has left big shoes for me to fill. She has grown that museum, and when I first took my kids to the Children's Museum 20 years ago, we were in that little Watson cafeteria, and now we're in a huge warehouse. So if any of you haven't been, I invite you to come. It's wonderful. And I want to give you a snapshot of what your support is doing at the museum. And I want to say thank you because I'm a Greenville resident. I grew up here. I've worked here as an educator, and now I'm in my new era of the executive director, and I'm so excited to plug into the joy that kids are experiencing at the museum. So just to let you know, our attendance last year at the museum was 47,318 people. We have a lot of guests coming through there. For field trips, which we're in our field trip season right now, we had 144 school groups, homeschool groups, private school groups come, charter schools, and they come from all over Hunt County, but they also come as far as Oklahoma. People are driving up to 2 hours to come see us during the school day because what we offer kids, the value, the experience is so much more than they can get anywhere else. And we even have people from Dallas area driving to us instead of the Pro Museum because of what we can offer. And so I just want to say thank you for helping make that happen. We host birthday parties almost every weekend. We had 260 birthday parties last year. And right now we got two new dinosaurs from the Billings production here in Greenville. And we have got a T-Rex and a Coelophilus. It looks like a raptor, Velociraptor. And they're a memorial of two longtime museum friends. And so come see those dinosaurs. We have new exhibits coming this year. My vision as the new director is to refresh what we have. We've been in that building for 7 years now. It's time for a good deep clean, a good refresh. But it's also time to take what's there and build on it. So thank you for your support. I want you to know that my office is up front. And so every time the door dings, this is what I hear. Whoa, look at those dinosaurs. This is my favorite place. And then every time I hear a kid cry, it's because they're leaving. And I hear parents begging and pleading and bargaining. But it is the most wonderful place for kids. And if you haven't been, please come. Please come. We'd love to show you. You don't even have to bring a kid or a grandkid with you. You can experience it yourself, and I'd be glad to give you a tour. So thank you for your support, and I look forward to reporting back to you every quarter.
Thank you.
Yes.
Those that haven't been should really go. It's really a neat, even for adults, it's a pretty neat place.
We had my granddaughter's first birthday party in January there, and yeah, it's wonderful. Even for an adult to go to it, it's still fun to go to. So good luck to you. You do have big shoes to fill with Charlene, but
Yes, you do.
we're behind you.
All right. Entertain a motion to approve the report.
So move.
Second.
Got a motion second. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Action item number 3, a proclamation for Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month.
Two.
Oh, I skipped you.
Don't do that.
I'd already checked you off. The Treasurer's Monthly
means it's
Report for
good.
December 2025.
All right, good morning. In your packet, you will have a report for month end December 31, 2025. We had a month-end balance of $63,791,053.73. That's up $15 million from November because we got our big chunk of tax money at the end of December. So we got a good push of those taxes in at the end of December. That is all of our cash in the bank. That is our invested funds. Our bank reconciliations have been balanced with the auditor. Everything is in line. Any questions?
Any questions? Entertain a motion for approval.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Sorry, Brittany. Proclamation for Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month, February 26. Is Kristen here? Yeah, there she is.
Good morning. Appreciate you guys all being here, commissioners and Judge Stovall. February is Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month, and I appreciate you guys recognizing the importance of that. I was going to give you some stats. Just for Hunt County, between the ages of 11 to 13, in the last 3 years, teen dating violence has increased 133%.
Wow.
We have 14 to 18 has 2% increase, and 19 to 24, 16. So total overall, an 18% increase. At WIN, we do teen dating violence prevention programs and talking about healthy relationships in the school district. And that's something that we're working to revamp and have staff, volunteers, interns working with us to be able to teach those teens what healthy looks like, but then also so they know where to come when they need help. Sometimes they just need to know that there is help out there. Sometimes the information we give them, they can bring home to their family, and maybe their mom or their dad has been a victim, and they then find out about our services. So it's important each year that we do this, and I'm really proud of our county for standing together with us in letting these teens know that they're not alone.
Okay, thank you. You want to read the proclamation, or you want me to?
I'll do it for you. I don't
Okay.
mind.
Either way.
There's a bunch of whereases here. So.
Yes, there is.
February 2026, whereas teen dating violence is defined as a pattern of physical, sexual, psychological, emotional, and economic abuse occurring within a dating relationships among adolescents, where teen dating violence can occur in person or through digital platforms, including social media, text messages, gaming platforms, and other online spaces may involve verbal abuse, threats, coercive control, cyberstalking, harassment, or other non-consensual sharing of intimate images and other technology-facilitated forms of abuse. Whereas national data demonstrates the seriousness of this issue, with research showing that approximately 1 in 5 teen girls and 1 in 10 teen boys in the United States report experiencing physical or sexual dating violence before graduating high school. 1 million teens each year experience some form of abuse within a dating relationship, whereas studies indicate that more than half of teens know someone who's experienced dating abuse, yet many victims do not seek help, with fewer than half ever telling a trusted adult or authority due to fear, stigma, or lack of awareness of available resources. Whereas the impact of dating violence extends beyond adolescence, as young people who experience dating abuse are now at an increased risk for mental health challenges, substance abuse, academic difficulties, and future intimate partner violence in adulthood. Whereas education and prevention efforts that promote healthy relationships, consent, respect, digital safety, and accountability, along with clear information about legal and personal consequences of abusive behavior, are proven strategies for reducing teen dating violence and fostering a safer relationship now and in the future. And whereas communities, schools, families, and local organizations play a vital role in raising awareness, supporting survivors, and empowering young people with the knowledge and tools they need to build healthy relationships rooted in dignity, equality, and mutual respect. Now, therefore, we, the Hunt County Commissioners Court, do hereby proclaim the month of February 2026 as Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month, and encourage all residents to participate in awareness efforts supporting prevention education, stand with survivors, and work together to ensure that all teens can grow, learn, and form relationships free from violence and fear.
Thank you. Commissioners, I entertain a motion to approve the proclamation.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. The board and other staff want to come have a picture with
Yes,
us?
please.
Okay.
good. I'm not a good.
Okay, where are we? Number 4, a presentation on the status report on North Central Texas Council of Governments Aging Programs for Hunt County.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. I appreciate the opportunity to be here. I have a brief presentation. I see you've got a really loaded agenda, so I'm going to move as quickly as my aging legs will carry me. But really, I'm here for 2 reasons, the first of which is to thank you for the support that the county has provided the aging program over the years. Second, to make you aware of some of the services that we offer at the regional level, as well as services provided by local providers to benefit your older constituents. So for those in the audience who are not familiar with the Council of Governments, we're a regional planning organization founded in the 60s to support cities, counties, other local governments. The Aging Program is a very small program within the Council of Governments and in my estimation, small but mighty. One of the things that sets us apart is we do dedicate a lot of our time and our resources to providing direct services. So I'm going to provide a very high-level overview of 2 major programs. I'm going to start with our Area Agency on Aging and then move to our Aging and Disability Resource Center, which is a much smaller program. And just a little information about how we're funded. Most of our funding comes from the federal government through U.S. Health and Human Services, through the Administration for Community Living. We also receive funding through the state of Texas. We're scrappy. We go after local grants. And we're very indebted to Hunt and the other 13 counties in our 14-county service area that help us satisfy our matching requirement, and those matching funds support the full range of programs that I'll be talking about this morning. So our current year request is for $847. And again, in this presentation, I'll give you some information about how those dollars are spent. Just a little bit of information about eligibility for our programs. Under the Older Americans Act, eligibility is determined by age. Unlike the Medicaid program, which would target people with very, very low incomes, limited resources. So in most cases, people have to be at least 60 years of age, but we also have caregiver programs that will provide supports to people age 55 and over who are caring for their grandchildren, people age 55 and over who live with and care for relatives with significant disabilities, and those of any age who care for a family member with dementia. So as I mentioned, eligibility for the programs is on the basis of age, but the Older Americans Act does require that we target people with greatest economic need, people with greatest social need, those with disabilities, those who are at risk of premature nursing home placement. And so if you look at demographics for people who receive ongoing services through our agency, about 40% live in poverty compared to an all region elder poverty rate of a little less than 8%. About 40% of clients who receive ongoing services live alone. So kind of the average profile of a client of our agency would be a woman in her early 80s who's widowed and trying to make a go of it with income of less than $1,500 a month. So all of the services that we provide are made available at no charge to those who qualify, but we and our partners do accept voluntary contributions. So I'll start by just sharing a little bit of information about the services we provide at the regional level, information and referral. We help people locate federal, state, local programs. We have benefits counselors who help people understand Medicare options, talk with people about Medicaid eligibility, get them signed up for Medicare savings programs, low-income subsidies. We also have case management programs that will pay for in-home supports for people who are coming back home from hospital, rehab facility, nursing facilities. Those programs will do things like build wheelchair ramps, pay for temporary attendance services or homemaker services. We pay for medical equipment and supplies that are not covered by insurance. And kind of a common theme that runs through all of our programs. You know, we believe that most people want to remain in the community as long as possible, to be as independent as possible. And so our programs are intended to help older adults, caregivers, extend their community tenure and age with dignity and respect. We also administer the Long-Term Care Ombudsman Program that advocates for people in both nursing and assisted living facilities. We have a couple different workshops that teach people how to reduce their fall risk. Falls are the leading causes of preventable death among older adults. We have a program that provides counseling for people who are depressed. Through the Benefits Counseling Program, we help people access those federal benefits. We have a program that helps people leave nursing homes, return to community living, and then we're a fairly newish contractor for the Veteran Directed Care Program that allows veterans who qualify medically for nursing home care to receive services in their homes from providers of their choice, including friends and family. Oops. Okay. We also have been very, very successful in getting some competitive federal and state grants to expand supports for people living with dementia. This is really a passion project of mine. Both mother and father have lived with dementia. And dementia kind of increases risk that family caregivers will be depressed. And among Medicaid beneficiaries, people with dementia are 32 times as likely to go into nursing homes. It can be very, very stressful for family members. And with my dad, you know, he was a shooting enthusiast. He didn't recognize himself when he looked in the mirror, and he had guns everywhere. So that was a safety issue that we had to deal with. So through our dementia-friendly initiative, we have a couple of dedicated dementia resource specialists who help people navigate all of these systems of care and will provide consultation with whatever issue they're facing, whether it's sundowning or wandering or agitation or delusions, hallucinations. And then we have a couple of dementia-specific programs to assist family members in developing a plan of care. So you may not be familiar with any of the programs that I've talked about, but you're probably very familiar with Senior Center Resources Public Transit. I know they're on the agenda this morning. We are proud to be a supporter of Senior Center Resources and Public Transit. We do provide them funding for their home-delivered meal program, their congregate meal program, and their demand response transportation program. So last year, we passed through $857,662 to Senior Center Resources and Public Transit for those three services. And in terms of Hunt County residents who benefited, 639 home-delivered meal clients, 207 congregate meal clients, and 505 riders. So here's the contact information for our area agency on Aging. Again, the Aging and Disability Resource Center, much smaller program. And the purpose of this program is to provide information to people of all ages with all types of disabilities about long-term services and support. So we can help people understand their options for in-home services, for medical transportation, for respite care. Then we also have a program that helps people leaving nursing facilities or rehab facilities connect with community-based services. And then we have a small lifespan respite program that issues vouchers to family caregivers so that they can take a break. Here's the contact information for our Aging and Disability Resource Center. And here's my contact information as well. Commissioners and Judge, you have a brochure with a brief description of our services. I've also provided you an impact statement summarizing the services that we funded during the prior fiscal year. But again, I just wanted to say thank you so much for the support that you've given us. And please do keep us in mind if you're trying to help anyone in Hunt County connect with long-term services and supports.
Thank you very much. Commissioners, y'all have any questions?
I had one question,
Yes.
just curiosity, on your matching funds, how does
Yes.
that work?
So in terms of the request to the counties, how we calculate those odd amounts, or how do we use the funds, or both?
No, so we provide you funding,
Uh-huh.
and then you said you get matching funds, right, associated with that. So where do those come from, and how are those determined?
So almost all of the federal dollars have a matching requirement that varies from 10% to 25%. And so those matching funds leverage those federal dollars. If we don't have sufficient matching funds, then we can't draw down all of those federal dollars. So, so in terms of the county's contributions, our 14 counties in the aggregate contribute $180,000 per annum. And that helps us draw down about $13 million in Older Americans Act funding. Each year, we look at the percentage of funds that we've passed through during the prior fiscal year to the county for nutrition and transportation. So those pass-through services, they're available in all counties, and each year we recalculate. So if, County A received 15% of the pass-through funds, we would request 15% of that $180,000. So that's the way we calculate it, but again, it's to allow us to draw down all of those federal funds.
Thank you.
You bet.
Anybody else? Thank you
Alrighty.
very much.
Thank you again.
Entertain a motion to approve this report.
So moved. Second.
Got a motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Action item number 5, the annual financial report, year-end, September 30th, 2024. Robert Lake.
Right. Well, thank y'all for the opportunity to be here today. I know this is late, and I'll try to go through it pretty quickly, just hit some of the high points so you don't have to look at some 70-some-odd pages of data. So let me just start off with kind of analysis with the fact that as auditors, our responsibility is to provide the opinions on the financial statement. The financial statements are the county's financial statement, and they take full responsibility for the information that's provided there. It's our job to make sure that it does present a fair picture of the county's finances as of and for the year ended. Now, this is September of '24, and I apologize for it being late. Most of this lateness is based on things that happened in our office as far as personnel and things of getting the information out. Some of it relates to whether y'all realize it or not, the county has a little over 100 and some odd funds that have to be combined and merged together and whatnot, so it takes a tremendous amount of time to get it all put together, not only from the Encode system that the county operates and does all of its, overall accounting on, but also each individual office has accounts that have to be audited, reviewed. The auditor's office does a lot of that work, but there's no combination of all of it to put it together to come back to one small document. And I say 70 pages, it's a large document, but it takes a lot to get it there. And so I apologize for it being late, but with that said.
So if you don't mind, because this is one thing I know everybody had an interest in last court before you get into the actual audit. So what have you done? I know you said some personnel things, and it sounds like the way the data is gathered. Do we have a plan going forward that we made changes, corrections, your side, our side, so that we won't be late?
That's my goal, certainly.
But what were the changes?
Right now, I mean, just to let you know, I mean, I had 3-4 accountants when we started this process, and actually one of them left right in the middle of it, and then the other 3 retired or moved on to other things, and then replaced those. I've had 8 different people that have come in during that time period. Whether y'all follow along with the accounting world or not, but small firms like ourselves, we're having a difficult time getting employees, much like a lot of people across the world are having. It's difficult to find and qualified. One of our issues that we have is that we can't just take somebody that's somebody that doesn't have any background off of the street, so to speak, and put them in there, even though there are jobs that we can put to that place. But as far as putting your financial statements together and doing that, we've got to find somebody that's got an accounting degree that has some background. And so anyway, So during this time period, we've had 8 different people come in, and so it's pretty much relies on me. Just so you get a little bit more feeling for our firm, I will tell you that we do about probably 88 to 90 audits during the year, and so that's my responsibility, and so this fully falls on my shoulders. But I'm only one person, and at certain times it does that. And so basically we do a lot of governmental work, and most of that is in the fall. And so I can tell you in another month and a half, I will know where I'm going to be every day for the next 9 months. And so some of that is what prompted the delay in getting the numbers up. Now, do I have a plan? Yes. Got 3 new employees. Some of those have been in there 6, 8 months, 9 months. One of them's been there. She started about the time this started last year, and so she's there, and I'm still looking for 2 additional people to bring in. I visited with Mary a little bit about, or maybe it was Amber, about maybe changing the focus. Instead of us trying to do all of it and put it in on spreadsheets and combine it together, maybe utilize giving our information to the county, let them key it into the system, and let the system kick a bunch of this stuff out. At least for the major funds, the general fund and whatnot, the some 75 funds or so that run through the county's books.
Just out of curiosity, what would you have to provide that we input as opposed to us downloading and providing you something? Just catch me up on what that is.
Okay. If we make our adjusting journal entries directly into the system, then we can let the system calculate and accumulate the data that we would put into the report. That's basically what I'm saying. Instead of us taking your trial balances, combining them, get them into the format that they have to be, then making our adjustments, coming up with adjusted trial balances, and then combining it. I think that by putting the adjusting entries in as we go, then we can produce the reports and let the system, the way your account code structure is set up, and I'm not going to say other people, but probably 99% of our other clients' account code structure is the same across all categories. In your system, your assets, liabilities, and equity are 5 digits. Your revenues are 9 digits. And your expenditures are 10 digits. So it doesn't allow us to utilize accounting software that we have that are designed for governments in an efficient manner. In fact, we actually sent your chart of accounts to our provider, and they said, well, this is the first time we've ever seen anything like this. And so either trying to put leading zeros into an Excel file or things of natures just to modify what your chart of account is into a systematic approach just doesn't work. And so that's what.
So is that because we're so far ahead of everybody else?
I don't know. I think, I want to say, and I was not involved with the county when the chart of accounts was established when y'all first went on to the computer system. I don't know really what the basis for why we did it. I can follow what was done, but it doesn't allow for any kind of automated information. And so, and that's why I say if we can utilize the report, there are some things that were set up in the account codes that kind of drives that, but you just can't.
So it sounds like by the way we hand you data, is we hand it to you where it requires an awful lot of manual compiling on your part, and then if you end up short manpower, it's a double hit.
That's exactly right.
And so, Mary, I'm not putting you on the spot, but with the ENCODE system, with some of the conversations he's having, do you think we could provide compiled reports that would assist in this?
We are actually going to a new INCO We're getting ready to transition into it, so by, I think they said October, November, we will be up and running in it. It has great promise to answer most of your questions. The formatting will be more standard. So I do believe we can combine our information to make your life a little more simplistic and enhance what we do here. So any auditor walking in will be able to read our data.
Well, Commissioner, since I've been here a little over 7 years, I've asked for reports and all from just a general business standpoint, and I've been told we couldn't generate them until Mary got here. And then since Mary's been here for 3 years, you been here for 3 years yet? 2.5, yeah, 2.5. I think, I tell everybody she's the queen of the spreadsheets, so, because she can pull anything and create any report. And so it's been exciting to finally see that we can get reports that we've never been able to. And unfortunately, past auditor's office would not allow us to upgrade our system to the more, I think we're 6 or 8 versions behind on updates. Isn't that correct? Pretty close to that. So we're trying to push it along and get it to where we can make your life and our lives easier, and we can get better reports as well. And they're actually going to visit after the meeting or after we get through with this and start working on combining their minds together, and hopefully we can assist in that greatly.
Yep.
And
And I didn't mean to sidetrack your presentation. I just really wanted to have a baseline of understanding of what's happening.
That's where it is, and you know the you know, as a typical rule, we would get your complete trial balance, and you know, part of the issue that we have is we're trying to keep things consistent from year to year, but what we end up starting with is a trial balance that has to be combined down. I mean, we may have some accounts on our trial balance because it's more, they may have 50 accounts in them. And so when we go back to give them information after the fact, now we have to figure out, well, which one of those individual accounts needs to be adjusted as opposed to just the group as an account. So it just takes longer than maybe what it should. And then one of the things that, just so they'll know, the original chart of accounts were set up, they only allowed for 2 fund codes. And while there's still a few extra codes in there now, they're starting to run out of them. And, you know, one of the things that I haven't told Mary that I'm going to propose is that they implement all of the other accounts that are, I'm not going to say they're out of the system, but they're being accounted for in a totally separate accounting process, that somehow we merge those into the current system so that the entire county is in the county's Encode system instead of it being in 2 separate things. Now, that's something's got to be worked out. I don't know whether they would be happy with that or not. I mean, but you know, for those of you that haven't been around, and I imagine it's everybody, you know, things are much better than they were, I don't know, probably the first time I audited the county, which is not this set of engagements, but back about 89, somewhere along in there. And, you know, we didn't have all of these other accounts were not even accounted for anywhere. They didn't have any accounting software. They didn't have anything. They just gave us a checkbook. And so it took a tremendous amount of time even then to accumulate that information. So they've made great strides. I'm not saying they haven't, but there's still a lot of things that can be done to maybe make it more efficient, make it more workable, and give you the information and the reports that you need.
we just need to get up to the 20th century, not the 21st yet. We're way behind. And
Okay.
Commissioner, I think that, like I say, I'm encouraged with Robert's, what we've talked about in discussion with Mary, that it's going to go a lot better this time. And I'm hopeful of that. And y'all only been doing it for like 60 years up here or something, haven't you? Y'all, Rutherford Taylor's been doing it as far back as I know.
No, we did it in the late 80s and early 90s for about 10 years, and then I don't know, this time we've probably been in here 12 years or so like that. So
Long time.
Hey,
Thank you.
Robert,
yes,
I can sympathize with that you're shorthanded and stuff like that, but I also know that there's deadlines that we have to meet and stuff.
I understand.
Moving forward, how confident are you that you can keep up with the reports that we have to have and stuff?
Well, I mean, if we sign up and, you know.
I mean, there's obstacles I have to overcome every day
Oh, yeah.
too, with
Oh, well,
help and
believe
different
me.
situations. And I know that there's
and this
situations.
This isn't my only one, let me tell you.
Yeah.
You know, I feel confident. I feel confident that we, you know, in my mind, I've got it down May 31st, because that's where it needs to be. That's the deadline on your federal grants. That's when the federal reports need to be done and those types of things. So, if we can get it all set up and get it moving. I mean, we don't make a whole lot of adjustments. They do a good job as far as that is. It's really just the amount of time it takes to assimilate the information, get it into the right format, and, you know, put it out. So, and I'm actually gonna, you know, as Judge Stovall said, Mary's the spreadsheet queen. I may just give her my spreadsheets and let her accumulate all of this information. But, you know, that's not to say that we won't there. But yes, can we get it done? I think we can get it done.
Okay, because I'm responsible to the taxpayers. So
Oh, I
I'm not
understand.
trying to be
Believe me.
a jerk
Oh,
or
believe
whatever,
me.
but that's who I'm responsible to.
But
I
also
understand.
on some of those reports, you know, if we don't get them in time, then we can lose ratings. We can lose, you know, increases on, you know, credit cards. I know that was something that recently come up and all that. So, you know, that's why we're just trying to get a little more warm, fuzzy feeling that we're able to meet these deadlines with you guys.
I understand.
All right, now you want to give your report?
Okay. Well,
Thanks,
I can.
Gary.
I can. All right. Well, the report is basically the same report you get all the time. You know, there's the opinion letters at the front, and I've mentioned those, followed up by what's called management's discussion and analysis, and then you get into the financial statements themselves, which include the notes, the financial statements, and then some additional information. But the opinion letters, there's 3 opinion letters. There's a independent auditor's report, which is the opinion on the financial statements. It's what we call an unmodified opinion. It's the best opinion that you can receive. And then we follow that up with compliance and internal control letters on the overall financial applications in the county, as well as the major program. You know, I don't even know the name. It's one of the SLRF, I think, is what the initials are, the acronym. Anyway, that's your major federal program, and it will be. In fact, you know, this upcoming year, not 25, but for 26, they've changed the uniform guidance. So only entities that have over $1 million in federal revenue will be required to have what's called a single audit. This past year, if you take out this ARA program, American Rescue Plan, state and local, anyway, if you take it out, you wouldn't have had $1 million in federal funding, so you wouldn't be subject to the uniform guidance and filing the report. So that's a positive thing going forward, not only for y'all, but for me as well. But with that said, the opinion letters on internal control and compliance are the best you can receive as well. We didn't identify any kind of material weaknesses in the internal control system nor significant deficiencies, either for the overall financial statements or for the federal programs. You know, you don't spend a lot of money, a lot of transactions in the federal grant, so there's not a lot of transactions to look at, but we have to basically look at 100% of those since you have as few as you do. So anyway, so from there we get into the financial statements themselves. Management's discussion and analysis. If you look on page 25.
We don't have a book.
Oh,
We don't have
okay.
anything.
Sorry. Okay. Actually, if you look at page 21.
21.
Now, what you have in the financial statements, some of y'all are new to the Commissioners Court, maybe new to governmental financial statements, but, so what you have in these financial statements is two sets or two layers of financial statements. The first ones that we're going to talk about are the government-wide financial statements. The government-wide financial statements are full accrual accounting. You'll see all of your capital assets, your long-term debt are all reflected in these government-wide numbers. When we get back to the fund financial statements, they're what are called modified accrual basis of accounting. So there are receivables and payables, but it more follows how cash flows through the system. With the government-wide, look on page 21, these are all government-wide numbers, and these are all summarized. There's more detail back further in the report, but you can see here that current and other assets, which include your cash, some almost $65 million as of the end of the year, and this is everything combined. So we've got them all rolled into one set of financial statements here. The capital assets at $45 million. Deferred outflows and inflows, those relate to your, for the most part, they relate to your TCDRS, your Texas County and District Retirement System. Those are some numbers that come in with the pension information. Then our liabilities are a little over $12 million of current liabilities, $31 million of non-current, so $44 million in total liabilities. And then net position, the easiest way to explain that position is if you were to take all of your assets and convert them to cash and use that cash to pay off all your liabilities, this is what you'd have left over. So you can see there that our net position, a little over $69 million at the end of the year. Then if we turn to the next page, you'll get to the statement of activities. More commonly in layman's terms, your income statement. Here's your total revenues and your expenses. You can see here that we generated almost $72 million in revenues during the year. Our expenses a little over $72 million. So we had a change in net position or a loss of $692,000 for the year. We add that to our beginning of the year, a little over $70 million. That comes back to that same $69.7 million in net position. Now the next page you can kind of see in a pie chart the numbers that were just presented to you. You want to know how much is property taxes as a percentage of our total revenues. You can see there 61% of our revenues come from property taxes. Sales and other taxes, a little over, I think that's 16% if my eyes can focus enough on there. And then around the pie there you can see the other categories. Expense-wise, the expenses are broken down into general government, public safety, infrastructure, or which relates to road and bridges. But you can see there that general government is about 16%, judicial at 18%, public safety at 24%, and then corrections and rehabilitation at 12%. So, and you can see the other things there is that you can. Infrastructure there at 22%. Now from there, I'm going to skip on over into the financial statements themselves. There's still some more information there in management's discussion and analysis. I'm going to skip Exhibit A1 and A2. Exhibit A1 and A2 are the government-wide financial statements. Statement of net position, like we talked about on the first schedule. Just a little bit more detail there if you want to see exactly how much property taxes receivable or state taxes receivable. They're all reflected here. A little more detail. Same thing on liabilities there. And then A2 is your government-wide statement of activities. This is the income statement. It's a little bit different presentation. We don't start off with revenues and we don't work our way down through expenses. Here we actually start off with our expenses. We work across our program revenues, fees, and things that we generate to support those activities. And then eventually we get to the general revenues there in the lower section of the report where we see property taxes, sales tax, and other things. So you can see here our expenses at $72.5 million. The charges for services, those are the fees and things that we generate based on those services. Operating grants and contributions, that's money that we receive from outside, from the state and whatnot. Capital grants, if we get money from the state or from a federal agency or whatever for, capital improvements and whatnot, that goes into that column. And then in the general revenues, property taxes, sales tax, investment earnings, and miscellaneous, all comes back to that same $692,000 that we saw on that previous schedule. So from there, we get into A3, A4, A5, and A6, which are the fund financial statements. These are the governmental funds. Without giving you an education on the funds and the makeup, but you have governmental funds, you have proprietary funds, which are accounted for in a different manner than the governmental funds, and then you have basically fiduciary funds, which are accounted for even differently. So, but if you look there, the balance sheet, the general fund is the primary government or primary fund for the district, for the county. You can see here cash and investments, a little over $22 million at the end of the year. I'm on page 31 if that helps any. Then we have our receivables, we have our other assets and whatnot, prepaid items. So our total assets there in the general fund is $26.7 million. You see our liabilities there. Our property taxes are deferred inflows. And then we get down to our fund equity. Well, how much do we have in the general fund, our fund equity? You can see there's $18.9 million as of the end of the year. And then this financial statement presents what are called major funds. Major funds are defined based on the amount of money that's in the fund, based on the categories of assets, liabilities, revenues, and expenses. And so when you present your financial statements, any of funds that come to the level of a major fund, they have to be presented. And so these, the American Rescue Plan Fund, as well as the Capital Projects Fund, meet those definitions. So things like the Debt Service Fund are included in the other governmental column. All of the road and bridge funds are over in the other governmental fund column and whatnot. So because they don't meet the definition of what a major fund is required to be presented. But so you can see there the other funds, and across all funds, cash and investments, little overall, just a hair bit short of $59 million. Total assets of $67 million, total liabilities of $14 million, and then total fund equity, $49.5 million. Now, fund equity is broken down into various categories. Simple way to kind of explain it, non-spendable would be if we have a prepaid item, in other words, we paid for somebody to go to a conference, maybe we paid that in August, but the conference doesn't occur until November, then those things are non-spendable as a part of your equity. In other words, they've already been spent, they just haven't been recognized as an expense. So that's what non-spendable items are. Restricted means an outside source is restricting those things. So like over in the Capital Projects Fund, you'll see that $3.3 million. That's what's left of the bond proceeds, whereas the committed, those are funds that the county has moved over there in prior years for capital projects. So they're committed. Basically, the Commissioners Court still has kind of control over those things, and so they're committed for that purpose. And then unassigned is things that you can spend for, as long as you budget for it in the general fund, you can spend for whatever legal purpose there is out there. Okay, then if we skip over a couple of pages, I'll just point out that the in between each of these schedules, here's a reconciliation that reconciles the equity that's on the fund financial statements back to the equity that's on the government-wide financial statements. So you can see all of the adjustments that have to be made to convert the fund financial statements to the government-wide financial statements. But with that said, Exhibit A5 on page 33, here's your revenues. The partner always liked to call this the meat and potatoes because here you see all of your revenue sources, your expenditures, any other financing sources and uses, and then ultimately your net change in fund equity. So you can see here the general fund generated, what is that, almost $47 million in revenues, spent $48 million. We had some other financing sources and uses, a little over $2 million. So we ended the year with a $343,000 positive increase in our overall fund balance for the general fund. We go across the American Rescue Plan. The American Rescue Plan is a federal grant, so it's an expenditure driven. You earn those funds when you spend them. So the balance that's sitting there in that fund is basically the investment earnings that y'all have earned on that grant since you brought all that money in. Now, a typical federal program, you're going to have to spend that money in the same manner that you were going to spend the proceeds of the grant funds themselves. So at some point, as y'all use those funds, you'll need to use that as well going forward. Okay, Capital Projects Fund, those are the road bonds that are there, as well as the money that y'all set aside for capital projects in the county. So you can see there that we spent a little over $3.5 million of that fund during the year. Then we get the non-governmental, which again, that includes a lot of things. That includes a lot of the county clerk's restricted funds. That includes the records management things. The elections administration is there. There's, of course, all the 4 road and bridge funds are in that fund as well. Debt service fund is there. So there's a big bunch of information that's in that column. But you can see there, generated a little over 19, almost $20 million in revenue, spent 21. And then we had some other resources. So it ended the year at 545 to the good. And then just like on the previous financial statement, that follows it behind it is a reconciliation of the earnings for the financial statements back to the net position over on the government-wide. So you can see there all of the changes that are made during the year. Now from there, you get into Exhibit B1, which is on page 35. Not really going to talk a lot about these because they're what they are your health insurance. Your self-insurance funds is what they are, and so I can say here that you're in a negative position as of the end of the year, but if we go over a page, we can see that we were in a deeper negative position the prior year. So we actually had a positive $133,000 in that fund, and as we continue to go further into this process, I would expect that, I would hope that number continues to go up. It's because generally when you start one of these things, the upfront costs kind of put you in that position, and as we move forward, we hope that we do a much better job of managing what's out there and getting that deficit worked out. Okay, and then the last set of the Exhibit C1, these are the fiduciary funds. There are some things that the majority of the numbers here, that $4.7 million, the majority of this is, particularly if we look at the next page, is really the one to kind of look at. You can see here that we don't have revenues and expenses because they're really truly not revenues and expenses. They're additions and deductions because most of these funds are not your money. Up until we had a change in accounting standards about 3-4 years ago, you would have only seen assets and liabilities here. They were made a change, and so we have to show an equity even though you really don't have any equity in it. It's just the way it's presented. But you can see here that the custodial funds, that's where offices collect money and then turn around and pay that money over to the county or send it to the state or whatever. The biggest numbers that are in here are the tax office. You can see there that tax collections are $202 million out of $252 million. And then you can see that the payments to the tax entities pretty much balance out to what was collected. And so most of these funds, for every dollar that comes in, it goes out to somebody, whether it be other entities or to the county itself. And so that's what this fund relates to.
So this is where, for the public's information, we collect all the taxes for all the entities
That's
in the county, and this is where we're accounting for that. We collect for them, and then we send them the money.
That's correct.
Yeah.
That's correct. You know, just like payments to the state there, fees and fines, a lot of that is your motor vehicle fees that come through the door that are really the state's money, but we have to recognize them as coming in so that we can pay them out.
And they pay us just a little bit of money to do that for them.
Well, there's some money in there.
There's some money.
It's
in
probably not near what you'd want, but
That's
there
correct.
is some money in there.
There is some money.
Okay. Then from there, you get into the notes, the financial statements, which just provide the reader with additional information. I'm just going to kind of maybe point out one or two pages here. On the bottom of page 48, I always feel like that people want to know, who do we owe? I mean, at the top of the page is your schedule of capital assets, but at the bottom of the page there, you'll see that we started the year off the year at about $14 million in debt. We incurred an additional almost $4 million. We paid off $2.2 million, so we ended the year at a little over $16 million in debt. Okay. And then if you look at the next couple of pages, you can see, you know, what we have debt remaining on going forward.
Robert, let's back up a page.
Okay.
So the debt, the 14 million, most of that's in the road bonds. Is that what I'm seeing? Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the road bonds that we've issued for the transportation steering committees, that voters voted on it in 2015, I believe,
Right.
to approve those bonds.
Right.
So really,
Yeah.
on real debt we have is those bonds.
Right. There are two sets of
Yeah.
bonds that have been issued.
Yeah, the public voted for 24 million in bonds. We've issued two tranches of 6 million each.
Right.
And we don't anticipate any more in the near future.
Look at the middle of the page there, you'll see that there's still about 12 million that can be issued.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. And then, you know, some of the other things in there, I don't know if everybody's aware of it, but there are payments to the comptroller for sales tax overpayments. The county's been paid, I think, 5 times now, but.
Well, we got another one right now going too.
Oh. Well, you know, I wish the industries that are creating that for y'all would get their act together to clean up what.
I think
what
we got
they
one of them
send us.
fixed, now we got another one.
Okay, you got another one, okay, well.
Or one of them fixed it for us.
Okay, okay.
Now we got another one, they tell us.
But going forward, you know, those are some payments that sit there, they show up as debts. You don't really incur anything, but you got to pay them as debts.
That's what I wanted to clarify. It's not actual debt, like I went to the bank and borrowed money and I owe them debt. That's not what that is. So when we say 16 million in debt, we don't have 16 million by the way most of us view the word debt.
That's correct.
Okay.
That's correct, yeah.
Thanks for clarifying that, because I'm sitting here like this, it was a shock.
Well, you know, I mean, the state sends you, let's just say, $15 million in revenue, and they want $2 million of it back. That's your debt. So, and you know, the first one that came out years ago was kind of a shock.
Yeah, it's
And I would have thought that it would have been corrected at, you know, I mean, if I was out there as an employer and I didn't want to pay the state all the sales tax, I think I'd clean up my act to where I wouldn't be paying that. But that's evidently not the case. So And I'm sure, you know, state sales tax laws are pretty involved and whatnot, so I can give them some little bit of a slide on that, but it impacts y'all, you know, and I don't have anything to do with the city, but it impacts them as well. So it's just one of those things that we have to deal with, and that's where it shows up here.
The first ones, we got a long-term payout, about like 30 years with no interest.
Yeah, 40 years.
40 years, no interest, and it was the large one. We've had several since then, and I think the next one was like 20 years, and then 15 years, and then 10 years. Now they're wanting a year and a half payback on
Year
the
and a
last one.
half.
Yeah, on the last one, I think they wanted 18 months to pay it back. But we're
Okay.
still negotiating with them to try to get a little bit longer term.
Okay, all right. Well,
But they're
you know,
still not charging us any interest, I don't think, on any of them.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
There's no interest, we just got to pay it back.
Okay. Then from there, there's, you know, when we get in the notes, there's a lot of information here about the retirement plan and whatnot, so I'm just going to skip through that. That's just information for y'all to read. If we go to page 62, everybody likes to know, well, you know, this is the budgetary comparison schedule. You can see here that there's an original budget, an amended budget, actual, and then a variance. The actual is actually compared with the amended budget, so you can see there that from a budgeting standpoint, we actually received about 633 less than what we had budgeted for. On our expenditures, we're $4.4 million under budget for the year. And if we look at the bottom line, basically our net change in fund balance there, we were anticipating to be 3.2 million deficit, and we ended at 343, so we ended up the year 3.6 million to the good. Now, this is just the general fund budget, so there's a couple of categories there that are overexpended, and basically both of those relate to for the most part, reclassifications that we made to move some things around. Some of the things like, I believe they've corrected it going forward, but back at this point when we rent vehicles from Enterprise, they were showing up in each department's category, the payments were, and they really are debt service. So we've moved them to debt service. And so that's kind of I think they've corrected that going forward so that we can not have this issue. But even with that said, I'm confident that the numbers were in the budget to begin with. They just weren't in the right classification line. Okay. And then the rest of it is just generic information and whatnot, some things that have to be included with regard to the pension plan. And then the last page, actually page 69, these are the federal funds that y'all generated or received during the year. You can see there that the American Rescue Plan, $2.9 million of a grand total of 3.2. So you don't get a lot of federal dollars here. A lot of things come through the state and whatnot, but I know I've gone through it pretty quickly. Probably spent more time than you may or may not have wanted, but does anybody have a question? I feel happy to answer anything I can.
We didn't spend as much time as you probably need us to. I do on S1.
Okay.
Just want to make sure I'm correlating numbers to each other. So we come down to excess and deficiency of revenues over expenditures. I got that. That and then everything below that is how it relates to the fund balance, correct? Because we have a requirement for, what is it, the general fund is 20%?
25.
25%? And so I just want to make sure how that I'm understanding how that relates. And so
What page you looking at?
that, 62.
Okay, so if you take your 48 million there as total expenditures, I mean, I'd divide it by 4 to come down to, what was it, $12 million? That's what I would relate to the 18 million.
And that's what should be at the bottom line,
Right.
whenever you say in
Uh-huh.
fund equity. I'm just making sure I'm reading
That's
this
correct.
correctly.
That's correct.
Yeah,
That
we're at
bottom
18
line.
and our policy's about 12.5, 13, somewhere in there.
Right.
Okay.
So we have excess of whatever that math is, $5-6 million excess.
Yep. Okay. And then the other question I had, go back to 23, and you may not even have to go back for the question, it's a pretty general question. The government-wide expenses, you know, as you break down the pie chart, infrastructure 22%, you said that was the road activity. Is that all road and bridge activity, or does that include overheads, infrastructure, costs of the buildings and everything else?
It has depreciation in it, that, you know, the roads are depreciated, and so that's in there. There's also the unit road bridge department that's a part of the general fund is over there. It's considered infrastructure, so it's not exactly road and bridges, but it is. I'm gonna
But it's
say
not necessarily overhead expenses of the
No.
county?
Oh, no.
Okay.
This is, let's say, y'all bought some big pieces of equipment. Somebody did. I don't remember who it was exactly, but those things at this level, those things are all capitalized as capital assets, and only the depreciation on those would have been rolled into this number.
So that investment earnings and infrastructure expense, those are just for the road and bridge budgets, precinct budgets.
Investment earnings, that would be across the whole
Well,
county.
would you say, what you asked for, you said infrastructure,
Yeah, I was just trying to
you're just looking
understand
at
what all
the
was in.
expenses, okay?
Expenses.
So but that is road and bridge,
It's road and bridge plus the
Plus the other
specialty
road.
road crew
Yeah.
and.
right?
But it wouldn't include the cost of equipment, because that's taken care of in the depreciation that's,
Okay.
you know, over 3 to 5, 7 years,
Okay.
whatever the case may be.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else?
I just have one quick comment. Thank you very much for your presentation, and for all you people out there and online who did not have the opportunity to look at this wonderful recap. We will have it downloaded and online on the finance things by Friday for everyone to review.
If you want some nighttime reading,
Well,
It can do that.
and one thing for everybody, when they look at it, it's fiscal year ending 2024.
That's
As I
correct.
was going through it, I was going, well, those numbers don't match what we've got right now. So-
September 30th, 2024, year end.
That is
Yeah.
exactly right.
Yep. Any other questions? Thank you, Robert.
Okay, well, as always, we appreciate the opportunity, and once again, I want to apologize for it being as late as it is, and.
Well, let's hang on, we got two things to take care of, so
Okay.
entertain a motion to approve the audit.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Now we need to go back to item 7 in the consent calendar. We had some discussion earlier about this. Any other questions related to that? Any other comments? I'll entertain a motion to approve action item number 7 in the consent calendar.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you,
All
Robert.
right, well, as always, we appreciate the opportunity, and if you have any questions, if you wake up for it in the middle of the night and get that out and read it and come up with a question, feel free to call me. More than happy to come back and
We call
explain
that a
anything.
nightmare.
I thought you
Let's
was gonna
hope
say
not.
call you at night.
Well, you know, over the last year, I'd probably be there. You know, it's pretty quiet at 3 in the morning, let me tell you. All right, well, thank y'all very much.
Thank you, Robert. All right, so I've already announced we're skipping item 6. Item 7, a resolution authorizing Hunt County to make a grant to Senior Center Resources and Public Transit Organization in the amount of $5,000 for the Texas Feeding Texans Home Delivery Meal Grant Program. Yeah, that's what I was looking. I don't see anybody. Commissioners, entertain a motion for approval.
Second.
Got a motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Action number 8, discuss and pass a resolution allowing the sale of fireworks on Juneteenth for calendar periods listed in the Texas Occupation Code, Section 2154.202G 1 and 352.051, and that this authorizations continue until revoked by Commissioners Court, and that this authorization be subject to fire marshal bans and other state laws. Got any questions? David's here if we got questions.
The guy that did it, Steve, he wasn't able to come today.
Right. All right, entertain a motion for approval.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Action item number 9.
Judge,
Well-
David, I did have one question. It doesn't affect the vote.
Okay.
Just, is not affected by any burn bans, correct? They can sell just as long as people don't fire them off.
The only thing that can be burned.
Sorry about that, Judge. Just hit me.
Public needs to know this.
Yeah.
In accordance with the local government code 352.051, if there is a burn ban in effect, the things that cannot be sold will be rockets with sticks, missiles with fins. Those are the only things that can be prohibited. You can't prohibit anything else from being sold in a burn ban.
Okay. Just think it's important for us to know that when days come.
Good information. All right. Thank you. Anybody else?
What, on the burn ban, how does that affect, people can still do fireworks because on the burn ban, that doesn't affect fireworks unless it's amended that way, right? Or
If
what's
you
the law
know in
on that?
advance that a burn, you're going to have, you've got certain dates that are listed in both 351.052 as well as 2154.202, and there's some conflict there because we just had some changes in 352.051 with the 2025 legislature. But you have to have your burn ban in effect before the sale period even begins. So if the burn ban is named as the sale period begins, the burn ban doesn't affect it. So
Okay,
you kind of have to have an idea that you're going to have a burn ban and that it's going to still be in effect whenever that comes. And it's tied to Keats Byram and what those numbers are. So if we had, 4 or 5 inches of rain over several days and our Keats Byram dropped down, that changes the chemistry of the whole deal.
yeah, the reason I was asking, because the, last fireworks, I guess New Year's Eve, people was wondering why, the burn ban didn't affect fireworks.
It doesn't.
And so that's why I was asking
Yeah, the
that.
lobby in Austin is strong enough that the only thing that, they have a specific term called restricted fireworks, and there are only 2 things, and those are defined 7 places, and it's consistent that it's rockets with sticks and missiles with fins. So it doesn't count your Roman candles, it doesn't count sparklers, it doesn't count black cats or M80s or the little snake charmers or anything else like that. None of those can be restricted, only rockets with sticks and missiles with fins.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Sure. Come to the mic and give your name and address.
I'm Judd Alsop. I own a fireworks stand on 34 Fireworks near Greenville. Also buddies with Steve. Great to see the fresh faces here. I'd like to say that out of the blue here. I'm a big proponent for term limits, so good job, guys. But we want to have an open dialogue with y'all. We're concerned. You see what's going on in Oklahoma and Kansas right now, and we're actually rolling into. There's an open season for fireworks right now. It starts because next week because of Texas Independence Day, and we appreciate everything and we would like to keep an open dialogue. So, our phones are open. If there's a problem, if we need to cover things on our shelves that you're concerned with, even if you're not within the, proper time, like, hey, we're not in a burn ban, but hey, it's really dry. Can you cover up the missiles? Can you cover up the rockets now? We want to protect our county, 100%, especially with what's going on up north. And this is dry. It's luckily we're dry, but we're not dry, right? So it's
We got a
got
burn
all this.
ban. We have a burn
this,
ban.
We are in a burn ban. We have all this tender. I mean, the ground's not dry, but obviously we have all this tender, and it is an issue. So we as retailers want to make sure that we protect our home, and I just want to let everybody know that we're here to
I hope all your competition feels the same way.
Well, I would say a majority of us are, and,
That's
you know,
good.
we would encourage them to do the same. So we appreciate,
And especially think, about our volunteer fire departments. Again, they're all volunteers. They work their rear ends off trying to protect the county. And with us doing the burn ban, that's another way to try to help them out. So any help you guys can give too, I know they'd appreciate it just as much
fantastic.
as
Yeah, and
us.
like I said, just, give us a call, send us a message. We have an open dialogue here at the office, so whatever we need to do to make sure that, we try to be safe as possible and protect our county. We appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Any other questions? Did we pass it, or we did pass it? Okay. Action number 9, discuss and take action on resolution ordering revising Hunt County subdivision regulations, engineering standards, plat application procedures regarding 1, homeowners association, property owner associations, real estate trust, or other bodies or boards restricting or limiting property uses, and 2, restrictive covenants, conditions subsequent, reversionary interest, or similar property restrictions in running with the land. Daniel? Yes, it is.
All right. So last week, the Attorney General filed a lawsuit in Collin County. I've got a copy of it right here. It's 125 pages long. And it related to the Epic City development that's, there's been a lot of news and social media posts about. A lot of those stories have some true things, and a lot of them have things that are definitely not true. But I spoke about that with two of the commissioners, Monroe and Money, and they, as a result of that, I looked through the subdivision regulations, and I think the concern here is whether or not Hunt County subdivision regulations have any teeth to prevent illegal religious discrimination, and generally those are not things that the county is going to regulate. County doesn't have any authority to regulate anything related to religion. What it does have authority to do is regulate the subdivision efforts of developers if they try to do something that is illegal. In this case, the AG sued the Double R Mud, which is basically right next to where the precinct lines are between 1 and 2, north of Josephine. In that development, the proposed development in the Mud, split the Collin and Hunt County lines. That development actually had already applied for a plat review in Collin County, but hasn't done so yet in Hunt County. The Attorney General's lawsuit basically accuses the development, or the Mud itself, of some technical deficiencies related to the election of the Mud members and other things related to that, and seeks an injunction against them and a declaration from the court that some of the things that they've done are void. But as I spoke to them, to the commissioners, there was a request that we look at and potentially amend the subdivision regulations to ensure that there aren't going to be any illegal religious discrimination items that could be part of future either restrictive covenants or homeowners associations. And so the resolution that you've got in front of you, if you approve this today, it wouldn't have any immediate change or affect any sort of a change in the subdivision regulations. All this would do is call a hearing at the next meeting, 2 weeks from now, and have a public hearing and then put notice in the newspaper that would, those are the steps necessary to amend the subdivision regulations. So what's in front of you is basically a couple of different amendments. I'm going to go over those in just in kind of summary form. At the bottom of the first page, there's Section 2, Proposed Regulatory Amendments. And the first thing is to add a new definition that's not in the subdivision regulations right now. And that defines a term called governing instruments. And it goes over all of the different things that can affect property usage or transfers of property after a subdivision is approved, or after a plat is approved. The ones that I hear the most about and that we discussed recently are the CCRs, which are the covenants, conditions, and restrictions. But there's other ways that property can be, that people's use of their own property can be restricted. And that 11-part definition is meant to be as broad as possible so that anything that restricts the use or the sale of property is brought into the definition of governing instruments. The rest of these changes, basically, if you come to a real nutshell version of this, is that anything that is, or any petition for a review of a preliminary plat that's done after these changes become final would require the filing of any governing instruments along with the plat, so that the county can ensure that they're not facially illegal. So if there's something that says you have to be a Christian to live in this neighborhood, or a Hindu or a Muslim or anything else, and it violates state law or federal law, if these changes are made to the subdivision regulations, it would provide a secondary different basis to not approve that preliminary plat or the final plat. It wouldn't apply to any subdivisions that are already in place because they're effectively grandfathered in. Those subdivisions are still going to be subject to state and federal law about fair housing practices and other things like that. But the number one, it adds that definition. Number two, and this is on the second page, Part B, those documents are required to be submitted with the preliminary plat if there's any intention to use them. If there's not going to be any documents that restrict property usage or sale, then nothing like that has to be submitted other than just a statement that we don't plan to use those. The final plat requirements basically go over that in more details and talk about what is required to be submitted along with the final plat. If have there been any changes in the governing documents since the time of the preliminary plat, those have to be updated and filed before a final plat is approved. And then halfway through page 3, there's the compliance with state and federal law. Basically, this adopts the current state and federal law and says that any documents that are provided must comply with all those state and federal law requirements before the final plat can be approved. There's an amendments to administrative completeness provisions section. And that is required under the law that generally provides authority to and limitations on counties that are approving subdivisions. That one of the important ways that those can be not disapproved, but they can be non-approved, is that the county has an opportunity to say that an application is not administratively complete. What this does is beefs up that section that says specifically your documents are not administratively complete unless you have either a statement saying that you're not going to have those restrictive documents, or filing the documents with the county's community development group. The last item is probably the biggest change, item E on the next page. This basically, if this is approved after the final hearing 2 weeks from now, or if whenever you set that final hearing, then any subdivision that was approved or preliminary or final plat was approved, and the developers come in later and want to add a CCR or a overlay HOA district, then it has to come back through the court as part of a plat amendment process. Currently, that's not in place, but it would effectively invalidate any sort of secondary illegal governing documents that are put into place after the date of the final plat without having to go through the plat amendment process, which is, I think it's a 4-week process with notice to everybody who's a property owner. At the end, it goes through the directive to general counsel, which is basically the commissioner's court telling general counsel to publish the necessary things to get this set up for a public hearing 2 weeks from now, and telling us to put together a red line of the documents that would be available to anybody who wants to come look at them before the meeting, so that they can see exactly what is being changed or what's being proposed. Obviously, that's going to have to go through the normal process of public meeting agenda timing, but it's also going to have to go through a newspaper publication because that's what the county is required to do whenever it changes the subdivision regulations. At the bottom of that page, it goes through the intent and limitations, and it's, I think, very important to point out there's nothing in this set of proposed changes that is going to regulate or even attempt to regulate religious doctrine or land use for religious purposes. And it applies to all subdivisions that come for a preliminary plat after the date that these go into effect, which at the soonest wouldn't be until a few weeks from now. Overall, though, these are relatively minor changes that may have a long-term impact on new subdivisions that are planning on or seek to limit the use of the properties by people who buy there through restrictive covenants.
Daniel, this doesn't by any stretch help us with the other hot topic of solar panels and data centers or anything like that.
No, this would have nothing to do with that. Most of those are single properties or properties that are being put together, and it wouldn't have any impact on that whatsoever.
Daniel, if, let's say they do their preliminary plat, and they file everything that's proper at the time of their preliminary plat, then they go put in 3 phases and sell out all the lots, and then they go to more phases. How does that affect the people who've already bought, or is it a percentage of the land or percentage of owners that has to change restrictions? Or will that be in their document?
Well, that can be in the document. I mean, the later change to CCRs or HOAs, how that is affected comes down to what the document itself says. And all this is a check against inclusion of illegal items. And so whether the documents say it has to be half of the property owners or half of the owners, counted by one person per parcel, or if they go away after a certain amount of time, none of those provisions are illegal because that's a private contract. And so it wouldn't have any impact on that. If there's a provision in the CCRs that, differentiates between new owners or new phases of construction, that's also almost certainly not something that's going to even be really subject to legal review because those things are already restricted in state law generally. And so if they're compliant with state law, then the county wouldn't have any, wouldn't review it for legality.
That's what I was kind of interested in, because I didn't know if they presented it and put something like that in there, if we had any recourse against it, if they tried to do something different.
Oh, if it's an existing?
Yeah, existing, like when they come in, we approve the preliminary, and they have all these things in there, the restrictions and all, then they want to go change the restrictions later. It said, I think if I remember how I read it, that they'd have to come back to the court to get the preliminary plat amended. I believe is what it said in there. And if they did that, then what authority would we have to deny the preliminary plat changes?
Probably none. These are only going to be denied if they're in violation of state or federal law in the first place. And so the residents of that area would have right of action potentially, and so would the Attorney General, and so would the federal government. But the county wouldn't have any increased right to regulate existing subdivisions once this passes. Because they're effectively grandfathered in under the old subdivision regulations.
So we couldn't deny a future plat because of that change or anything?
No, not if the preliminary plat has already been approved and nothing that they're doing in the final plat of a secondary
the construction,
phase.
the construction of it.
As long as it's not illegal, then no. The county wouldn't have any authority to deny it at that point.
Okay.
Daniel, so as you go through that, you're talking about restrictions that would be applied to the plat. Can this give us the ability to review any HOA restrictions that might be independent of the plat?
Yes, in HOA is included. There's a homeowners association declarations or bylaws are included in the definition of governing instruments.
Okay.
And so effectively, if there is going to be an HOA, then if this goes into the rules and there's an application after these become effective, this would require the filing of that along with the preliminary plat application, not for a review of all the technical parts of the HOA, but just to ensure that there's nothing that on its face violates state or federal law.
Yeah. So it can be an expectation at the time they submit the plat that they would submit their HOA guidelines.
That's
It's going to
right.
require them to do it.
Yeah.
Or to submit something saying that they're not going to have one.
Got it.
Any other questions? So we vote on this so you can go forward, or we can go forward and publish it? Is that, so we're not approving it right now, we're just publishing it?
That's right.
Okay.
And then, and nothing in here binds you to say yes or no when we come back with a finalized document. This basically just gives us the approval to move forward with publication and setting the public hearing, and then finalizing this into a red line for the public to review.
So how does, in the agenda item, do we have to make a motion any different than what's in that line, number 9? Do we have to have a motion to authorize the publication in future meetings, or is it covered in 9?
That's all covered there. You can move to approve the resolution as presented.
Okay. All right. Entertain a motion to approve the resolution as presented.
So moved. Second.
Got a motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. We're skipping 10 for now to go to executive session with that. Action item 11 to discuss Hunt County road policies. Darren, we gonna talk about it in executive session first, or you?
No, I want to talk about it open.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. I gave you all a handout That is the Hunt County Road Procedures. I would like to amend it in a couple of different ways. I would like all the upgrades, whether it's county pay or customer pay, to go through open court for discussion and approval by unanimous vote, number one. I would also like to start discussions on if a road is damaged during a when someone's putting in a new subdivision or a new whatever, and the road's damaged, how do we hold the damaging party accountable? What is the best way to hold them fairly accountable? So whether we set a standard where it's certain dollar amount per foot, or they go into a contract with us and they repair it at a $0 amount, something of that nature. That's what I would like to discuss.
Generally, if a contractor is doing work on property that they're using our county roads, they generally come in and tell us what's going to happen. They would negotiate how they're going to pay for the damages, and the precinct makes a contract with them to fix it after they leave. I believe it's right, Steve.
Right,
And
but there's nothing in writing, and that's what I would like to do.
I
I'd like to
don't
get
know there's
that
anything
word.
in writing in here, no. But that's generally what we do. I mean, that's generally
Yeah,
how it
I
works.
just want to get it where it's consistent and where it's in writing, and if it ever comes up at some point, it would be very easy to discuss and head off any problems in the past.
I think it's a great idea.
Do you have any idea, Darren, what the age of this document is?
2010, I believe, is when that document
2010?
was passed.
So, because
Well, it's almost new.
Yeah. Well, because when you go through it, I mean, it's certainly some things that we do at a high level today, but there's some things that are a little bit different.
Correct.
Would you, and I don't want to turn this
I'm
into.
sorry, June 28, 2004.
2004.
2004.
Well, what season then?
And there's a lot of good stuff in it, but I think it needs to be added to bring it up to date and hold every one of us accountable to each other and to the people.
No, I think you're right. I was just kind of curious if, with it being that old, would this be a time to, sit down and, I mean, like subdivision rules, that was before my time, but I believe we got ourselves and some community people and actually built those. Is that right, when we did those?
Yeah, we went out and presented them to the public.
Yeah, because it certainly seems like there's an opportunity here to re-baseline ourselves with a document that's over 20 years old, that some of it doesn't match and some of it's not followed and all that kind of stuff.
So
I don't want to turn it into a bureaucracy. I just.
No, I don't either, but I do want to bring us everybody together because it's the public's money. And we need to be making sure that we're doing what's right on both sides of the fence.
So we could either have two commissioners work on it and go talk to the public, or have public meetings about it, and we wouldn't have to post it or anything. Or if all four commissioners work together, then you're going to have a posted meeting and invite the public to come, or you can appoint some people to help in that regards. If you want to start a committee of 6 people, 10 people, 12 people, whatever you want, to get some cross-section knowledge, that's your options. Right, Dan? Did I miss one, Daniel?
Yeah. I feel like all commissioners need to be involved. It affects all of us.
Right, it does.
I like bringing the public in too,
Yeah.
because there's a lot of contractors who have really good ideas
So
that could,
If I'm hearing you, then you, out of the committee of the 4 commissioners, you would want some public people on that same committee to work, and y'all could have workshops or.
I think it would be wise, yes.
Yeah, I'm good with that. I just curious what y'all want to do.
I think it brings more to the table.
Yeah, I agree. So, Daniel, I guess what we need to do is decide how many members we want, and then, say we're gonna have a committee, and then they'll go get the membership of the committee, and then we'll come back and approve it, and then they can meet? Is that the order?
I mean, the court doesn't really have to approve it unless they're gonna have some executive authority. But you can, discuss in here how many you think would be good for you.
So it'd be an advisory committee, then, is,
Yes.
it's all we're talking about then?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then on the meetings, all we'd have to do is post that we're having an open meeting, right, on the day that we're having it, or night, whatever.
Yeah, you'd post a notice of potential quorum. You wouldn't have to post it to have a official meeting. You just have to notify the public that more than a quorum number of you will be in the same place and potentially either giving or receiving information about some item of county business. And obviously, this is an item of county business, so anytime there's more than two of you together talking about it, it has to be either part of a public meeting or a separate notice of potential quorum posting.
So
And
do-
under the new rules, you have to do that 5 full days in advance, business days.
So if we were gonna meet next Tuesday, we'd announce it today then.
you'd have to post it.
Not tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Yeah, there has to be 3 full business days that elapse between the day of the posting and the day of the meeting. And so if you're going to meet next Tuesday, you'd have to post it by tomorrow, which would give time for Thursday, Friday, and Monday to elapse before the next, before the Tuesday meeting.
Unless there's a holiday in there.
Yes, holidays don't count as business days, so you'd have to post by, effectively 1 week beforehand under the new rules if there's going to be a Monday holiday.
So y'all want to pick a number? Y'all want 1 or 2 from each precinct, or 3 from whatever number? I don't care. However many, how big, the bigger you get, the more cumbersome it'll be. But
I'd like to keep it small, just, I don't care how many commissioners, but, at least 2, maybe 3 people from the public.
I'd probably get at least 1 from each precinct.
Okay? So that'd be 8 people.
8?
3 commissioners, is that what you said?
You need an odd number.
Okay.
No, each precinct, so the 4 of you could all pick 1 or 2, however you want to do it, and that'll make the size of the committee.
Okay.
And that's y'all's choice. Y'all are over the road, so I'm gonna stay out of your way.
What y'all want to do?
Well, I think all of us pick one, and then since you've brought this up, maybe you bring an additional, so we have an odd number.
Okay.
So you
Y'all
get-
bring 1, I bring
you-
2.
Yeah,
Okay?
yeah.
Okay?
Can do that.
Daniel, we don't have to vote on this, do we?
No.
I didn't think so, okay. All right, anything else you want to discuss about it, Darren? or-
No, that's it, until we get all this put together, and then,
And we are doing a meeting next Tuesday?
No, I was
No,
just
no,
using
no,
that for an
no, no.
example.
No.
It had to be-
Yeah, they'll have to get some people to volunteer.
We're good, but we're not that good.
Be scrambling.
They can't volunteer people, they gotta ask them to volunteer. Okay, so we don't need any action on item 11. We'll put it on the next agenda to approve the committee, I guess.
Yeah.
Action number 12, to discuss and possibly take action on precinct 1 road inventory revisions, correction letters, no upgrade, County Road 1091 attached. Darren,
that is correcting road inventory.
correcting road inventory.
Correcting road inventory.
What's wrong with it?
It
Just
is.
outdated, or?
It's outdated. It's saying it's rock, and I believe it's oil.
So the whole road, or,
No, it's minimal.
so how are we gonna define that?
12. I got 2
He's
of them.
got an
coming.
attachment in here.
Oh, he does?
Yeah. I see it now.
Yeah, he's got the distance and all.
So the dirt was 1.2, the actual was 1.2 miles. Rock, current inventory shows 1.2 miles, and it's actually 0.67. Oil sand is 0, it shows, and the actual is 0.544.
Okay. Did you get all those?
Yeah,
You
she
got
did.
it? Okay. All right. So entertain a motion to revise the inventory of precinct road number, CR 1091.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Judge, 13 and 14 are the same.
They're just like this one?
They're just like that one, just
Okay.
a revision.
So action item 13, and you gave a list.
Yes, she has them.
All right, so just entertain a motion to approve action item 13.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Action item 14, discuss and possibly take action on Precinct 1 road inventory revisions, correction letters, no upgrade, County Road 1093. Entertain a motion for approval.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Action item number 15, request for permission to install electrical distribution facilities in county right-of-way on County Road 1027 under normal stipulations, Precinct 1.
Make a motion, please.
Second.
Got a motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. I guess Buddy's getting hungry. He's going to lunch. Action item number 16, upgrade of approximately 0.5 feet? Or is that supposed to be 500
Half a
feet?
mile.
It's a half a mile? Okay. So it should be a half a mile of County Road 2426 from dirt to rock in Precinct 2 at county's expense.
Yeah, Commissioners, what this road is, it starts out as an oil sand road, comes down, there's a wedding venue there, and then right past that wedding venue, it turns into a mud road, dirt road, and then it goes back to oil road. This half a mile of it is what it lacks, tying those two roads together. I've wanted to upgrade that for the last 3 years just because of a safety issue, because just last year with all the rain that we've got, 2 different culverts on this road washed out and the road caved in. So there's only one way in, one way out. Luckily, it was during the day and we got a phone call and we were able to get the road back opened up before no problems. But I just hadn't had, our other roads are such a bad shape and we're trying to get those up. I didn't want to spend the county money upgrading more roads. But what's good on this and why I decided to go ahead and do it is number 1, safety, but number 2 is we got rock donated from TxDOT. So it's not going to cost the taxpayers any local tax dollar. So with that being said, I make a motion that we approve upgrading half a mile of dirt to rock.
Second.
Got a motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Action item 17, the request.
Judge, I was just going to say, Commissioner Money, for the project that you just slated, actually appreciate what Commissioner Monroe just did as far as explaining why it's being upgraded. I think that should be part of what we do is when it comes to court, here's the things that should be addressed. Because that's a good way to explain why you're spending, effort to upgrade something. Sorry, Judge.
No problem. Action item 17, the request to construct electrical power distribution facilities that will cross County Road 3602 under normal stipulations in Precinct 3.
Motion approved. Under normal stipulations.
Second.
Got a motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Action item number 18, discuss and possibly take action on the existing interlocal agreement between the City of Commerce and Hunt County to repair Pritchard Road within the city limits of Commerce.
Judge, we already have an interlocal agreement with the City of Commerce to do work for them for under $50,000. So just out of transparency, I just wanted to bring this before the court, let the public know what we're going to be doing for the City of Commerce on Pritchard Road. So at that time, I make a motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Action item number 19, the request to construct electrical power distribution facilities that will cross County Road 4211 under normal stipulations in Precinct 4.
Make a motion to approve under normal stipulations.
Second.
Got a motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Action item number 20, the request for permission to upgrade utility lines by way of pole replacement and installation in County Road right-of-way on County Road 4405 under normal stipulations.
Make a motion to approve under normal stipulations.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Action item 21, the final plat for Farmersville Ranch Phase 2 in Precinct 1. Brian?
Okay, this is a project that's been going on for a little bit. We have inspected the road. They were still having to do a couple things, get some signs put up, have some utilities finished installing. But this will come back before y'all here in the next couple of weeks with a letter of approval and then the bond shortly thereafter. So this is just getting ahead of things, getting it so the final plat's ready to go and it meets all the county regs.
So we're not accepting the roads yet, we're just finalizing the plat.
This is, and this will be a conditional approval on them completing their development requirements as far as,
Okay.
as providing us the bond and the final inspection and
Okay,
those
good.
things.
That's better. That's what I was asking.
I didn't even bring it with me, so I'm not gonna request signatures because they're not quite ready yet, so.
Okay, entertain a motion to approve action item 21 with the stipulation they complete all of the requirements to finalize the plat.
Make a motion.
Second.
Got a motion, second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Action item number 22, commercial permit application for Bowles RV Precinct.
Yeah, this will be tabled.
That's the one we're tabled, right?
Yep.
Action item 23, final, no, that's got to be tabled too.
No, 23 is.
It's
good.
different?
Different.
Okay. Final plat for Bowles Switchyard Addition in Precinct 3.
Simple one-lot plat. This is going to be a switch yard for Rayburn Electric. They've got a big line running through there. It's adjacent to Simon Core property. This is that big Rayburn Electric line that runs down through Wheeland. The plat meets all county requirements.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion, second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Any other business today? Need to go into executive session under 551.071, 1 and 2, and
087 and 074.
okay, under 551.087 and 551.074?
Yes.
Okay. Were the items listed on the agenda? Okay. So we'll go into executive session at 12:06. Thank y'all, everyone. I've already hit it. Are we up? All right, we're back in regular session. It is 12:59. Is there anything before the court today? Not, I entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. We're adjourned at 12:59. Thank you. Did you turn us off?